Great.
Good evening, everybody. I'd like to call tonight's meeting to order. Today is Tuesday, May 27th, 2014. We have a village board meeting followed by a committee of the whole meeting. First item is the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sorry, Sherby, I didn't rush you, did I?
Okay,
No, that time you weren't.
so we're making a mad dash up front. Should be the roll call, please.
Present.
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 Present, we do have a quorum. Celestine is attending a wake tonight for an Andrea Gianelli, who was a bus driver for District 92.5 and also our the school district's person of the year back in February. So I'd ask for a little moment of silence for her. Okay, I know, Frank, Ms. Gianelli has several children. I met one
I
of
don't
the,
know I don't know the exact details of
was
it, but I do know
three
she has
children?
young
Three children.
and I met one this evening, a little young lad, probably about 10 or 12 years old, he
Yeah.
appeared. So, another sad situation, but our best to the family in that. Presentations, anything tonight?
No presentations.
Public comments, anything?
Hi, Steve Battersby, 1905 Delmoro. Sam, on the agenda tonight you have an ordinance regarding stop signs. I assume that's about the Wedgwood stop sign?
Yes, it is.
Going on the, last week I mentioned if you asked anybody in the neighborhood, did anybody survey the residents in the area to see if they felt it was necessary to have a stop sign there?
Chief?
I was told in the past residents in that area have complained about speeding cars in the by the sergeants on the police.
Okay, well, one point I'd like to make is back in the day when you were patrolman and Don Musker was here and residents came forward with complaints about speeding vehicles, there'd be a radar car put down the block over there. Are you doing that at all? Or?
I think the radar trailer's out. I think they have.
We had over 4,000 cars that were mounted on a radar trailer, and over 100 and some cars that were well in excess of 11 miles per hour.
I mean, a police officer with a radar gun issuing speeding citations.
Right.
Has that been looked at all or done?
At this point, we were just recommending a stop sign be installed.
It just seems to me that a more effective way of getting the people who are speeding are catching them and issuing citations. I mean, the figures that the chief gave, 97% of the people going down that street are law-abiding drivers. Police like 3%, and of that 3% of violations, you're probably looking at 1 or 2% of the actual drivers who are exceeding the speed limit. I mean, that's not that bad, but I would think that you would, as we used to do, we used to put a radar car over there and block people as they went past. Thank you.
Thank you as well. Public hearing, anything?
None.
Okay, item number 7, we have A through L, consent agenda. Does anyone need anything pulled for any further discussion? I think, let's see. Just a commentary on item number D for the stop intersection. So I'd ask that that would just be pulled momentarily so we can have a little bit more discussion on that. But anything A through L, with the exception of D, David.
I have a comment on item H, the aggregation. There was, in the draft ordinance that we sent over, there was a section regarding the compensation for NIMAC that was to be filled in, and the manager has that language, and I believe the village clerk now has it, so it specifies the rate.
In item F.
In H,
Item
aggregation,
H, but
H.
it's-
Item F of the actual.
Paragraph F of the
Oh,
ordinance.
paragraph F, I'm
Ordinance.
sorry. Okay.
So I just wanted to let everybody know that that's filled in now on the official copy.
Anything else need to be pulled? If not, is there a motion and a second to approve
So moved.
A through L except for D? I'm sorry.
So moved.
Second.
Nick? Frankie? Roll call, please.
Trustee Metusa.
Aye.
Trustee Perry.
Aye.
Trustee Stecker.
Aye.
Trustee Yurkovich.
Aye.
Trustee Calpagno.
Aye.
President Hughes.
Aye, motion carries. Item number D, and can I have a motion and a second for its approval, and then I'll go into discussion.
Second.
Tom and Frank. Right, from our last meeting, Chief, my understanding was originally we were going to do like 2 stop signs along that route. And then through your intervention and taking a second look at it, we're only going to be putting 1 at Norfolk on that long stretch. Is that's correct?
I went out there, after yourself and the village manager went out there and reviewed it, and after careful consideration, there was a concern about traffic that would be traveling westbound that could possibly turn in front of another motorist that would be going eastbound, just assuming that it would be a 3-way stop. That could be actually creating a hazard by installing a stop sign just for the eastbound traffic that's cutting through the village. So rather than go for the 2 intersections, somewhere it's about midpoint to go to Norfolk, and then put 1 stop sign in each direction.
Okay.
There's already a stop sign for the cars and the traffic up in Norfolk, so it'll be a 3-way stop.
Okay. All right, I just wanted to clear that up for everybody.
Rather than 2
Just 1 on that stretch. Okay. All right, there's a motion and a second on the floor for approval. All those in favor?
Now we need a roll call.
Oh, roll
It's an
call?
ordinance, sorry.
Or, I'm sorry. Roll call, Sherbs.
Trustee Perry.
Aye.
Trustee Stecker.
Aye.
Trustee Yurkovich.
Aye.
Trustee Calpagno.
Aye.
Trustee Metusa.
Aye.
President Hughes.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Active agenda, anything?
Nothing this evening.
Janet, anything to report?
Sure, a couple of things this evening. First, I would like to welcome Robert Lewis. You'll see a new face here this evening as our new Public Works Director. Robert won the lotto, and he had a board meeting on his first day here. So we're happy that he stayed to meet everybody, and he's going to hit the ground running. We've got a lot of projects in place, and already had a few meetings today, and sure we'll keep him quite busy this summer. So I'd like to welcome Robert Lewis, and during his report, he can give you a little background on himself. So.
Yeah, we took him around in the car today, and every time
only
he
a-
tried to get out, I hit the electric lock.
It was only a 2-hour tour instead of a 3-hour tour. Also wanted to remind the board that tomorrow is our aggregation bid date. So at 1 o'clock tomorrow, I should be contacted by our representative from NIMEC with the bids that have been submitted, and I will be then forwarding an email out to the board with our recommendations. So please check your email tomorrow afternoon. 2 other things that Molly Keene asked me to remind everybody to June 26th will be our first movie night in the park. We will be showing Frozen, and we'll have special guest appearance by Elsa, Olaf, and Anna at 7:30 prior to the movie starting. So hope to see a lot of the kids out there. And last reminder is to get your July 4th parade registrations in. So hope to have quite a few entrants in the parade again this year. And that's all I have this evening.
Michael, anything, sir?
On the second side of the agenda, I note there's an executive session scheduled, and I'd ask that we add to that Section 2C2 of the Open Meetings Act to discuss collective negotiating matters.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought it was under that umbrella. 2C2.
Thank you.
Okay. Frankie, anything from EDC, sir?
We didn't meet this week because of Memorial Day, so same as last report, yeah.
Nicholas?
Nothing tonight.
Tomas?
Just that June 7th is our Get Out and Play Day at St. Joe's from 9 to noon.
I saw the banner, it looks very nice
Mhm.
up at St. Joe's,
Yeah, it
so
does.
thank you for getting that. Angelo, anything, sir?
Nothing this week.
Paulie?
Nothing other than getting ready for car shows. So car shows are starting up every Monday night, so come on out and join us.
I did receive an email from Debbie Morelli, who is the mayor of the village of Stickney, wanting Paul's assistance in tutelage on running a car show and judging. So I passed your information to her, so you may be getting a call from her. But she reached out on us as a resource that Paul's been running the car shows for a number of years and has it down pat. She's trying something new.
Not a
So,
problem.
so thank you. Chief, anything?
As you know, on the 17th, we had an open house. There was about 200 people that attended our open house. It was a very successful event. Just recently, there's been a lot of attention regarding numerous residents within the village, both houses that are in foreclosure and houses that are occupied with all the rain, with the village ordinance that requires a lawn to be cut after when there's 8 inches or more of growth. They're given a warning, 5 days in which to comply. We've documented 153 residents within the village, both through our police department and through our ordinance officer. And 4 of those have already have court dates assigned for our adjudication court. And we're still processing the complaints as we go. We had a report today from one of the trustees to George yourself. You had a couple of complaints. They're on top of it. With all the rain, I think it finally dried out. I noticed even in my house, some of the parkways weren't cut. I don't live in the village here, of course, but the village couldn't even get to the properties near my house because of all the rain. So, not
I
making
mean,
excuses,
it's
but
everywhere
the
you
dandelions
go.
and the weeds. And
I'm seeing it.
So if there's any out there, please refer them to George Velasco. He's here the first thing, crack of dawn in the morning. Send us an email. We'll follow up on them. The other item is vehicle stickers, of course, were due the 1st of the month. I told the officers to wait till the 15th of the month to give the people a few weeks in case they have mailed them in. We're waiting and there was a delay. We've issued so far 168 tickets. We've asked the officers to only write 1 citation per vehicle because technically you could write the ticket and within a week, if they haven't paid the ticket, write it again. I saw people in the village hall within the last week paying their citations and purchasing vehicle stickers. Someone came in today and asked for a court date. For whatever reason, they want to have a hearing. I have a sergeant's meeting scheduled for next Monday with the lieutenants at 7 in the morning on Monday. So I'll reiterate, they need to be very aggressive in writing these citations. And I've worked for other communities, and we don't want to get carried away to where we go to the parking lots of the churches on Sundays and be writing tags. But I've seen that done in the past, and I don't think it's appropriate for this village. We'll enforce it. We'll be reasonable on enforcement, and we'll follow the plain view doctrine. We see a vehicle, it's on private property, and it's in plain view. We can write it. We'll write it. That's all I have to offer.
Jimmy?
Just want to remind everybody, school's getting out here shortly after all the kids finish up all their snow days. I know the public schools are out June 12th, so keep your eyes out for all the kids running around in the street and having a good time, hopefully enjoying the good weather. With that being said, knowing the way things, the weather has been, we'll probably go from one extreme to another, so as things heat up, the cooling center will be available as needed, when the temperatures start rising really high for temporary use for our residents. And at a future meeting, when we don't quite have so much on the agenda, I'll bring out the ambulance, the new ambulance that's on the street for the last 2 weeks. That's, if anybody's seen it, I personally think it's really sharp. really bright and really loud. So that's all I got.
Definitely. Ms. Maureen, how are you?
Hi. Last week, Civic Systems concluded their implementation. They were out here for the past few weeks implementing all the different components of the finance system, so that's fully up and running. Today we were visited by the auditors for the prelim. They will be returning July 28th through August 7th for the full audit. That's all I have.
I just wanted to just add on that a little bit. Each of the trustees will be receiving a letter from the firm of Sikich LLP with a brief questionnaire for you to complete. So please complete that and get that back at your earliest convenience. They'll probably be mailed, I would guess, within a week to your homes.
Oh, we get that yearly.
Mm-hmm.
Gregory.
Good evening. In addition to what Janet had mentioned with regards to the movie June 26th, it being frozen, just wanted to add that June 10th is another movie night. Decided to go, after some discussion internally, with a little bit of a throwback, to choose a movie that could possibly encompass greater age groups, Back to the Future. So we took a look at that. And the third movie for our August movie, we're going to be placing up a little opinion poll on the website and possibly put this out on our newsletter, as well as have them email in their requests. We've got a handful of movies that we're going to suggest that are affordable or within the budget of the special events group. Let the public decide what we show for our final movie of the summer. Additionally, Molly and I have nearly completed a lot of the back end stuff for the barbecue, which is going to be July 18th and 19th at the Park District. And starting tomorrow, when I say back end, I'm talking the generators, the ice, everything else. A lot of that stuff has been completed already now. And starting tomorrow, Molly's going to reach out to food vendors in an attempt to get food vendors. We're not having any specific number at this point. We're going to open it up and try to get as many people as we can. Of course, reaching out to the former vendors from the different events we've had, but of course opening up. So if anybody's got anything or any suggestions or thoughts, or anybody that you suggest we mail something to, please let us know. Lastly, on an IT side, just note that I've been working with Brian Grippo, and I've mentioned this before, that he's in the midst. The bid was opened recently for his project over at Crestwood Pumping Station, allowing a little more control remotely, a little more monitoring capabilities remotely. In addition to that, I've worked with the 10th Avenue people to allow him, now that he has the tools to do so, allowing him access to the resources of 10th Avenue and the water flows, the water, the rate that's coming into our system. So all the technology that was provided and updated over at 10th Avenue, Brian now has the capability to check on a moment's notice securely through various secure methods to get in. And he's very satisfied with that, saying it's provided him with so much more information on what's going on between here and the facilities over in 10th Avenue, which is something that he'd have to make phone calls to, and they would have to then gather that information for him. So he's very happy with that, and we'll be completing, been working with him as well on the firm that's coming out to update the Crestwood station in the coming month or so, and he'll be able to get a large amount of data as to what's going on here locally, something that would previously require him to be in there. He's going to have very little control remotely, but he'll at least have the capabilities at this point to review what's going on, the levels, again, things that he otherwise would have had to have come in for. So he's very excited about that, and I've been very happy to work with him on that. He's been a pleasure to work with. And that's all I have.
Yeah, I think we've had at least 3 water main breaks in the last week or so, and they've all been clamps on breaks of prior times. And it appears that the stainless steel straps, and then there's a rubber boot that goes around that, but what's failing is the bolts and nuts that hold it together, which are welded to the strap. They're made out of steel and they rust off. So it's a captive audience that I said, well, why aren't these made in stainless steel? You won't have to mess with them ever. I guess they want to sell more clamps. So, at the end of the day, each one of those repairs have been as a result of a clamp failure over time. I'm also told that the leak detection, they're doing that as well, and they've found some of the leaks as well that they've been fixing. So the leak detection service is out there, hopefully to keep our loss factor down to a bare minimum this year. Will be, let's say, lost revenue, but revenue that we won't have to pay out. So, even at a lower price. Ms. Sherby, I'm going to let Mr. Lewis go last, so.
None this evening. I will acquiesce to Mr. Lewis.
So. Okay. Oh, Melissa's hiding back there.
I was hoping to go
You're
unnoticed.
ducking.
Maybe you wouldn't.
I didn't see you
call
back
on me
there.
and put me on the hot seat here. Just so that everybody knows, our part-time plan reviewer inspector started last week. Also, we've had 8 people apply for the floodproofing program, and I did try to encourage more people to apply for the program. I did send out a letter to all those people that had expressed interest last year, so hopefully we'll keep getting more applications in. And
Are these 8 new applicants, or any of these that applied last year but we didn't have the funds to go forward, or is it a mix?
I think only one of them is from last year, so they're all new.
Okay, so the other ones that, right, say we had 30 apply and 20 ended up getting it, just for numbers. Those other 10 decided not to reapply for this year?
Yeah, they haven't applied yet. Maybe they're going to soon.
Okay.
I do have a article in the newsletter
Okay.
for this month, so hopefully we'll see more interest.
Because I think we have, what, 45,000 in that to do?
30,000.
30,000, I'm sorry, 30,000 in,
Huh?
no, 45.
No, we
45.
bumped
We
it
kicked it up,
yeah.
we kicked
Yeah.
something else down, right?
You're right,
Yep.
facades are
The
30.
So we have
Facade.
45,000 with a $1,500 max
Yes.
on each one, so, okay. All right. Now it's your turn. She didn't put a good enough block on you there, so.
Right. Well, my name is Robert Lewis, and I come to you after 12 years of service as a private consultant, designing mostly water systems, sewer systems, stormwater systems, and energy recovery devices. Prior to that, I have 10 years' experience in public works in Wilmette and Lombard. Another 10 years before that, working overseas in the Middle East. And public works has been my entire career, fixing something, or streets, roads, lights, traffic lights, water, sewer, stormwater management, cracks in sidewalks, you name it. I've probably done it. And one of the things I told Janet during the interview process is that some of the most rewarding times of my career have been working in public works. I've found that I really have a passion for that. So I'm really excited to get back to work in public works where we really get the job done. So it's exciting for me to be here.
Well, we're certainly all looking forward to your expertise in a lot of the projects that we have, and we have a lot of things on the plate which we've talked about and taken some brief look at today. So, again, welcome. And you know, we stopped up by Paul today to show him the Mariano's piece, and that is an amazing bunch of work that's going on there. And I would ask Paul if you want to expound on that. It's right in your backyard.
I will tell you that the construction going on at Mariano's is done to perfection. They work so diligently in making their piles, getting them out, separating what goes for recycling, what goes out to the dump, what goes out here. And I will tell you, with knocking down a building, bringing it down to dust, there hasn't been one piece out of place. Garbage isn't all over the place. The place is neatly cleaned every day. It looks fantastic. And just watching them dismantle this building and getting rid of it in a timely fashion is just phenomenal. So the group that is working there is very professional and has done a fantastic job there. So Like I said, I'm amazed, you know, during a construction site, you usually get things that fly everywhere, but they've kept it down to a minimal, there's nothing, anything. If something goes wrong and you walk over there and tell them, they fix it immediately if something's there. But I'm just really, really amazed at how well they're taking care of it, so. We should be very proud of that organization and what they've sent out there, very professional people.
Great, thank you, Paul. Okay, nothing for me. If there executive session. Yeah.
Oh, hey, don't
stop
stop
him.
him. Don't stop him. Don't stop him.
Motion to adjourn.
Yeah. Second.
We have an executive session that we'll do after the committee of the whole, 5 LX 122C1, appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, and dismissal of specific employees, and 5 LX 122C2, collective bargaining that Mike added for information. Is there a motion, a second to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Tom and Angelo, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone else say no? We're good.
We sure are.